Self-reflection is essential to personal growth, but it can be challenging to know where to start. There are many different types of reflection, from personal to professional. So first off, why would you want to do this in the first place? It's a good question. What is self-reflection? The purpose of reflection is to look at our past and identify areas where we can improve, and allows you to assess your strengths and weaknesses. Self-reflection is a way to understand ourselves, from our fears and what we're scared of to what we're good at and how resilient we are. Human self-reflection is the capacity of humans to exercise introspection and the willingness to learn more about their fundamental nature, purpose, and essence. According to Wikipedia, the earliest historical records demonstrate the great interest that humanity has had in self-reflection. So how to reflect on yourself and grow as a person? Self-reflection is an important process for personal growth. By taking time each day to reflect on your thoughts and feelings, you can identify areas in your life that need improvement. Self-reflection can help you better understand yourself and appreciate your strengths and weaknesses. Here are a few tips for reflection. Number 1 is be honest with yourself. Don't try to sugarcoat things or make excuses. Face up to your faults and work on fixing them. Number 2 is take time for introspection. Make time each day to reflect on your thoughts and your feelings and how they've changed over time. Number 3 is write down your thoughts. Keeping a journal can be a great way to track your progress and reflect on your experiences. Number 4 is look for patterns. Pay attention to the things that keep happening in your life, both good and bad. What do they tell you about yourself? There are many different ways to reflect on yourself, and the best way to find what works for you is to experiment. Some people prefer to write in a journal, while others find it helpful to discuss their thoughts with a friend or a therapist. You could also try meditation or mindfulness exercises, which can help you become more aware of your thoughts and feelings. Whatever method you choose, be patient and be gentle with yourself. It takes time to develop healthy habits, and it's important not to judge yourself too harshly if you don't see results immediately. Consider asking yourself more what questions instead of why questions for self-reflection. What questions can guide our development and rekindle our spirits, while why questions can stir up negative emotions and reinforce our limitations. So here are some self-reflection questions that can help you get you started. What do I want? When it comes down to it, what do we want? Everyone has different wants and needs, but what's at the core of all of them? If you're younger, you'll find that most of what you want isn't what you want at all. It's what other people want for you. You're seeking the approval of others, engaging in behaviors and activities to get approval from others. If you continue doing this for 10 or so years, you begin to lose sight of what you want. Figuring out what we want is key to finding happiness. Second is, what are my goals? What are you looking to achieve in your life? What are your priorities? What kind of lifestyle do you want to live? Once you understand what you want, you can start putting together specific goals to help get you there. Setting goals is an integral part of life and can help you focus on what you want to achieve and ensure that you stay on track. There are a few different types of goals that you can set. First are your short-term goals. Second is your intermediate-term goals. And finally, your long-term goals. Your goals don't need to be huge or lofty, and it's often better to start small and gradually work your way up. The important thing is that they're meaningful to you and they inspire you to take action. Take some time to think about what you want out of life. Once you have a clear idea, write them down and start working towards them. Third is, what am I afraid of? What are you afraid of? There may be certain things you may not be doing in your life. You may not be doing these things because of fear or lack of confidence, and you're taking a different path in your life. We all have fears. Some are rational, others seem irrational. But what is it that we're really afraid of? Is it the fear of failure? The fear of not being good enough? The fear of the unknown? It's essential to take some time for self-reflection and ask ourselves what our fears are, and more importantly, why we have them. What is it that's holding us back from reaching our goals? According to researchers, the most self-critical thought people have of themselves is that they're different from other people in a negative way. Once we identify our fears, we can start to address them and work on overcoming them. For example, if you're afraid of public speaking, one way to overcome that fear is to practice in front of a friend or a family member. You can also watch videos or read articles on how to improve your public speaking skills. And finally, don't be afraid to ask for help when needed. Next is, what do I want to achieve? Ask yourself, what do I want to achieve? In the next 5 days? The next 2 weeks? In 1 month? The next 6 months? Over the next year? Over the next 10 years? What do I want to achieve? This goes back to and falls in line with your goals. What you could achieve coincides with what you want to achieve, and practice discipline every day to accomplish what you want to achieve. Next is, what am I grateful for? Many times our brains, the way they are wired, see our world negatively, and we look for things we don't have in our lives. Instead of complaining and wishing for things we don't have, flip the script and be grateful for all you have. There are many things in life to be grateful for, but what are you specifically grateful for? Sitting down and taking a few minutes to think about this can be eye-opening and rewarding. One of the best things about being grateful is that it can make you feel happier and more positive mentally and emotionally. It also helps you connect with others, as gratitude is often expressed to others. You can be grateful for anything and everything, big or small. Some people like to keep a list that they're grateful for, while others think about it in their spare time, and there are no rules or guidelines to being grateful. The important thing is that you take the time to reflect on what makes you happy and fills your heart with joy. Next is, what are my strengths and weaknesses? When it comes to our strengths and weaknesses, it can be challenging to be honest with ourselves. We might want to think of ourselves as perfect or infallible, but that's not reality. It's important to look at yourself objectively and assess your qualities honestly. Begin with your strengths. What are you good at? What do people compliment you on? These are things to build on and capitalize on. Maybe you're great at organizing or public speaking. Perhaps you have a great sense of humor or a whiz with numbers. Once you know your strengths, you can start looking for ways to use them more often. Now think about your weaknesses. Nobody is perfect, so you're bound to have some areas that can use some improvement. Finding our weaknesses can be more difficult to identify because we may not want to admit things that we're not good at. Maybe you're not the best at math, or you don't have much computer experience, and that's okay. We all have strengths and weaknesses, and creating this list helps us better understand ourselves and improve our lives. And improving our lives, our mental health, and self-esteem is vital to our well-being. I invite you to take my Self-Esteem course, where you learn strategies needed to build self-esteem. Self-esteem determines how you live your life and how you treat yourself and let others treat you. If you don't give yourself enough credit, the successes and rewarding life experiences that could easily be yours may never happen. Arm yourself with the powerful ability to boost your self-esteem to new heights and enjoy more fulfillment, happiness, and success in all areas of your life. You can find the link in the description. Self-reflection is a personal process that takes time and a lot of thinking, writing things out, and slowly figuring yourself out. Going through these questions, remember there are no right or wrong answers, and it's all about understanding yourself. You'll learn about yourself, good and bad, and can take steps to improve your life.